BC here. Hi, guys and gals. Well, I hope you're all well. Today is Thursday, and I'm in my usual place for lunch. I am all alone, which is not a surprise, actually, considering all that's going on in the world right now. Well, actually, there's a bird coming up to me over there. Can we see him? Yeah, he's flying off. Okay. It's been a rather challenging week. Has. So I don't know if I should call this a COVID-19 update, but it kind of maybe is in a way. Yesterday, a work colleague of mine passed away because of the COVID-19 virus. The person had, I was going to say, big immunological problems for years. I mean, so it's not like, I guess we should say it's not surprising. At the same time, though, the person was 64, was going to retire at the end of the year, looking forward to it, and all those, I was going to say, everything is just gone. There's two people coming slowly. They'll sit somewhere else. So one of the things about the social distancing, as we call it, is the 2 meters, and wash your hands regularly. If you do that, you should be, I was going to say, okay. Let's understand one thing, though, is that, I mean, even if you do get the virus, you'll probably be sick. You will most probably be sick. But you won't die every time you get it. So, I mean, I know that doesn't help the people that have passed away, but I think the thing is we do have to be realistic and say that it is the minority, even though we see enormous tragedies on the news, and they are real. A lot of places where they have had the problems, there was like older populations and so on, and I mean, I'm not trying to put things down, but we have to keep things in a real perspective. So part of my, some people have asked me, well, aren't you working at home? Well, I mean, I work for a company, I do research, and we do research, so it's this health-based research where myself, but I do work for a dairy company, and we have the mission within the country, of seeing that certain foodstuffs are there. That can be milk, it can be butter, it can be cheese, and that's just giving an example. These are, some of these we could say are essential foodstuffs. It's the same as a baker, and so on. We have to see that there's enough flour for bread, for example, and so on. So, and part of my job, being basically the chief scientific officer over there, I mean, I work on health-related issues, but I'm being asked more and more, to be do my job basically, chief scientific officer, and give opinions on for example, the disinfections, and what do we do if we run out of disinfectant? Do we have a plan B? And the WHO has a plan how to make these things and so on, but do we have the materials and so on? So part of the group, checking the installations, are we safe? I'm like the assistant biosafety officer over there as well, so it's basically part of my job, doing these things. Do I enjoy it? Well, right now, actually, everybody, of course, feels a certain amount of stress. There's no doubt about that. But we just gotta move on. I mean, that's just the way it is. There's a lot of jokes going on. Is that couch potatoes were the scourge of society, and now actually they're heroes because they're staying at home and saving lives. Anyway, yeah. So I have seen that a certain number of people have been putting up videos, people that we hadn't seen putting up videos for a long time, but they're putting them up to say, well, I'm okay, and so on. Well, I put up videos regularly, so I'm still okay. Yeah, it's not an easy situation, actually. But, there's a difference between, I was going to say, concern and worry. Did I talk about that the last vlog? Maybe I did, actually. And but that's something that people just have to take care is to be concerned is one thing, and to just worry yourself sick is another thing. Yeah. So, in a way, I mean, what I am doing, at least purposely right now, is instead of going every day to the store and get something, like a sandwich or something to eat, well, I'm making sandwiches at home and bringing them here, and do the groceries once a week if possible, and not more, things like that. But yeah, it's just the way it is. What I find the most difficult, actually, right now is the lack of contact. For example, with the physical contact. I mean, with the grandkids, with the children. We do FaceTimes or Skype, depending on the system and depending on who we're talking about, and but it's not the same. Well, especially I would say considering the grandkids. If you want to play, but they're happy. They see us and they smile, and it's good. It helps to to make it easier. Mrs. DC and myself, I mean, we're really quite lucky, because I did say that the last time. We have a house and we can go outside and not just go out on the balcony, which is where a lot of people probably, especially the elderly, are suffering on that. And that's why actually there's a lot of lack of compliance with the elderly, because they do want to get out and get some fresh air, and just not very often. They're not also so much into social media. I guess there's just so much you can do. Just so much sitting around that you can do. What we have, of course, is today's world. There's just such a good offer on things. I mean, albeit that they have said that they'll be slowing down the bit rates of, for example, Netflix or YouTube or things like that. So that, because many people are working at home or so on. But we haven't noticed anything really different. What we did get, though, lately is at least I got it for a year, we'll see how it goes, is the Disney Plus that came to Switzerland actually just this week. It's kind of amusing. I say kind of because, there's a whole bunch of different type of movies on Netflix, for example. If you go to the Disney Plus, well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but I mean, it's a lot of the Disney stuff, the Pixar, and so on, but it's kind of like a special type of genre or what, I don't know. I'm not saying that I don't like it, it's just different. It's different, so maybe that's the whole thing. I mean, especially if you have the kids, and since it's, you can have so many, I can't remember now if it's 10 different devices or 4 TVs or something like that. It's a lot, actually, which they're allowing. So that's it's great for a family. I mean, so like if the kids have, of course, the codes and so on, so they can watch themselves, and that way they have with the children. Although I don't know how much the smaller children are really into that, but if you have a family, I guess it's pretty good. Yeah, so that's about it. Yeah, I really hope you're all well and safe. I mean, stay safe. There's easy things to do to stay safe. So, over here, like I say, we're not supposed to be more than 5 people together, but frankly, that's actually quite easy right now. But stay safe. It's worth it. I know that we'll be having maybe more discussions on what you call the herd immunity and so on, that, until we're immune, we're always going to have something coming. So we'll have to wait and see how that happens. A vaccine's not going to be for tomorrow. And if there are drugs or something, there might be something, but they'll probably have strong side effects. Who knows what? For the moment, I think we're in for it for a while. And talking about a while, I've been talking for 9 minutes, going on 10, so I will be stopping. There'll be DC signing off. Take care. So if you're asking if it was a checkup, how are you? Yes, it is. I'm doing fine. We're all doing fine in the family, and I hope that you're all well now. Okay, so DC signing off. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.